The title of the story is Am I the A-hole for not wanting to leave my own apartment? I'm a 28-year-old male and I've been friends with my roommate, a 25-year-old female, ever since we were babies. Our families were neighbors and we grew up together. She's like a little sister to me and always has been. After she graduated college, she moved to the same city I currently work in. And since she couldn't find an apartment close enough to where she worked, I told her she could live with me. We'd share bills and become roommates. We never really had problems or fights as we'd known each other for so long. However, recently things taken a strange turn. She got involved with someone from her work. The guy seemed to be a nice guy. I only ever spoken to him 3 times as they usually keep to her room. But he was very friendly and honestly, I was happy she found someone who seemed that nice. After a few months of their relationship, she sent me a text saying she needed to talk with me. I figured there might be something wrong with the apartment. It's not uncommon for things to break. But I was wrong. When I got home, we started talking. It's too long to write everything, so I'll just summarize. She told me that while she enjoyed living with me, her boyfriend was starting to get jealous of his woman living with another man. At first, I raised an eyebrow but thought that this kind of thing isn't uncommon, so I was like, oh, it's fine. Just let me know when you plan on leaving. Hope you two find a good place. However, apparently I was wrong. She told me that she wasn't leaving. She said that it was impossible to find somewhere closer to her work and that she was hoping I would let her take the apartment instead since my work wasn't close and all that. Thing is, I really love my place. It's close to the gym, to the grocery store, to pretty much everything. I'm not just gonna leave my place because of something so stupid as this. And I told that flat out that it wasn't going to happen. She got visibly upset and started to rant about me being an egotistical a-hole, that I didn't have empathy to put myself in her shoes. This happened a few days ago and she shut herself in her room, only ever leaving to go to work or pick up her boyfriend, who became really unfriendly to me after that. Now usually, I can be an a-hole, but I don't think this is one of those times. Am I the a-hole? Yo said that. Look, I don't even need to go into detail about how ridiculous that demand is. You let her in, and now she's trying to kick you out. You're not the a-hole, bro. The title of the story is, Am I the a-hole for kicking my niece and her fiance out of my house after I found them inside my deceased son's room? I lost my son Connor 5 months ago. He was in the military, only 24 years old. He was kind and sweet. Losing him so suddenly was devastating. His room is pretty much the same. I have pictures of him there, his posters, his artwork, books, sneakers, and such. Every time I enter the room, I feel some kind of relief. I just love drinking my coffee there in the morning and sit on his bed and look at his touches all over the walls. It just warms my heart. I'm proud of him because he had no selfishness, never mistreated anybody. He was so forgiving and never held grudges. I started recently giving some of his clothes to those who could use them, and it's hard, but I'm taking it slow. My 23-year-old niece and her fiance, male, moved in with me because of their current financial struggles. They said they only had money left to pay for 1 month's rent and asked me to let them stay with me for a month till niece's fiance finds a job. I agreed. I didn't mind having somebody to talk to anyway, but I told them that my son's room is a clear boundary and they're not allowed to enter it or be in it for any reason. They have the guest room and soon enough they started complaining about sleeping on the floor. Eventually they stopped. Yesterday, I was out to get groceries. I get home at 8 a.m. I made coffee and was heading upstairs to spend time in Connor's room. I was surprised to find the door locked. I then found out that my niece and her fiance were inside. I thought they were in the guest room, but my niece told me they spent the night in Connor's room because they couldn't endure sleeping on the floor any longer. I blew up when I saw her fiance on Connor's bed. I just kept yelling at them and berating them. My niece was shocked by my reaction. She said I overreacted and she'd clean it up later. I told them to get out of the room, pack their things, and leave. My niece called me harsh, cruel, and unreasonable. She kept asking me if Connor would have wanted me to treat her like this. I insisted they just leave. Leave immediately. They left an hour later. My family heard. My sister said I shouldn't have kicked them out. The reason she can't take them in is because her husband doesn't want niece's fiance at his home due to family disagreement. My sister said I was in the wrong and I overreacted, shamed me for being unsupportive and inconsiderate. The guest room only has mattresses, so they weren't directly sleeping on the floor. They were okay with it at first, but they started complained about other things as well. I should mention my brother-in-law said he won't let niece's fiance into his house after what happened between them. And he kept swearing up and down that niece's fiance is never allowed into the house again. My niece refused to move in without her fiance. That's why I took them both in. Am I the a-hole? Nah, definitely not the a-hole. You took in your niece and her fiance when no one else would, including your sister. They could live with you rent-free as long as they followed one rule, and that was not to enter Connor's old room. They broke your one rule, so you're not the a-hole for kicking them out. The title of the story is Am I the a-hole for moving in with my grandparents? My 16 male parents got divorced last year. It was hard enough, but they found new partners within 6 months with kids of their own. I have 50-50 schedule and it absolutely sucks. My step-siblings are awful on both sides. They are entitled brats who use the excuse of, it's my house, to get whatever they want, and neither of my parents care. I feel like an afterthought to both of them because they have new families. It sucks. I'm tired of packing my crap every dang week. I was talking to my grandparents on my phone and they offered to let me live with them. They live in the same city as I do. This was 2 weeks ago, and I moved in. Both my parents were pissed, but they haven't done anything. All my extended family is saying I'm awful for leaving, but I'm much happier. I'm starting to feel bad though. Am I the a-hole? I'm gonna go with not the a-hole because your parents got a divorce and put you in the position of half custody, which I imagine is already difficult in and of itself. On top of that, it seems like you're not meshing well with the new family on both sides, so if you feel you're neglected and need the sense of stability, then I think staying with your grandparents is the right choice. You're still a kid, so it should be on the parents to have made sure you transitioned well into your new family life. If you enjoyed the video, annihilate that like button, comment on who you thought the biggest a-hole was, and subscribe. It gives you superpowers. You want superpowers, right? See y'all tomorrow.